Welcome to Season 2 of Digging Deeper Ag Chats with Al, the podcast that brings you timely and practical stories straight from the paddock. From sowing to shearing, fire to flood, and everything in between. We're here when it matters most. Each episode taps into real experiences, expert voices, and grounded advice that helps you stay ahead on farm. I'm Alistair from the Gippsland Ag Group, a grassroots farmer-led network in Gippsland, focusing on soil, grain and fodder, pasture and livestock. We're here to support producers in building resilient and profitable enterprises across our region. So let's dig in. Welcome back to another episode of Digging Deeper Ag Chats with Al. It's been a little while between drinks. We've had about 4 weeks off from the podcast, and it's been a well-earned break for the team. But to be honest, half of us came down sick during that time, so we couldn't record anything in our little studio, even if we wanted to. But we're back now, feeling fresh and ready to hit the ground running. And first cab off the rank is going to be Morgan Davies with his mate Joey from Euroa, the livestock agents for elders. We're going to be discussing a couple of things, including the sheep and cattle, how much they've moved us in the recent weeks since we've been on air. And we're going to see what the outlook looks like over the next coming months. So stick around. All right, welcome back to Digging Deep. And we've got a special guest in today with Morgan Davies. Now, we're going to put this podcast off, but Morg said, no, we've got to do it now. So how you going, Morgs?
Going very well, Al, and thank you for having me again. It's always good to be here.
Yep. Now, we've also got another elders livestock agent from the other side of the state, Joey. How you going, Joe?
Yeah, good, thanks, Al, and thanks for inviting me on today, boys.
No worries. Big trip from you, mate?
Yes, come from over the other side of the divide today, so, straight through. 6 hours, so... Anyway, got through a bit of rain, but country's looking good over here.
Yeah, and you're going through tonight, are you, or tomorrow you keep going through?
No, I'll stay put around here tonight. Yeah, so it'll be good.
Yep. Oh, you might have to roll out of bed if you're staying with Morgan tonight. Is that right?
Well, he's actually on holidays, so he was passing through. I said, "Oh, well, come on, get on the show and tell us what's going on over there."
Yeah,
so,
right. Oh, must be on double time then, are you, Joe?
Yeah, no, not quite. But anyway, it'd be good to catch up tonight with Morgs and have a look around.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do over there? Euroa, is it?
Yeah, Euroa. So obviously it's in the central northeastern Victoria. I basically work, from Merton through to, Euroa through to Shepparton. So that's a fair variation of, different types of country. But that's basically in a nutshell where the area I cover. And it's still traditionally 50-50, cattle producers and sheep producing country. A lot of breeding sheep, and probably the further you go towards Shepparton, you might see a bit more value adding going on the irrigation. Right.
And what sort of sheep breeds are you talking about? Merinos or first cross ewes?
Yeah, well, traditionally it was a big merino area. It was actually one of the first places the merinos came from Britain, Saxony. So, yeah, but obviously we're seeing this everywhere. That's changing. So there's a lot of... still a few merinos around, a few composites, probably not so many shedders yet, but yeah.
Yeah. Now talk about the merinos over there. I'm not familiar with the area. Do you know this area, Gippsland, very much, do you?
Oh, not extremely well, but I'm aware of it, yeah. So,
yeah. Well, I'm asking the question. We've got a staff member now, Andrew, who used to be shearer over in the Shepparton, sort of a Chuka way.
Yep.
He's surprised by the look of our merinos over here because he's used to sort of those merinos over there, a bit bigger body things. What are they similar over there where you are?
Well, again, if you go up to Strathbogie, which is, 600 metres above sea level, you'll find a small fine wool.
Yep.
And you come down the hill, you'll typically find a sheep that'll be somewhere between 18 and 19 micron, medium frame, your Tolans, and your Heinams and those, breeders in the area. That's where they sort of hit the mark. Yep. So very similar sheep to Yass and Goulburn, if you're familiar with that area.
And you got a bit of cropping going on over there too?
Yeah, more and more. Yep. Some of the country probably is not known for cropping. People would say it's a bit more marginal and gets a bit wet, but we've seen a big shift in the last decade, more and more crop. So
is that swallowing up some livestock, is it, or are they still dual enterprise and running a few livestock as well?
No, it's not swallowed up completely. It's a shift. We've seen this shift everywhere. Probably a bit different if we're talking about hill country. But anywhere that's arable, we're seeing that shift, aren't we? Certainly. So, no, there's still a sheep presence there, and there will be. It's just a matter of, these generational farming enterprises changing hands and feeling their way into the next stage and what's going to suit them.
Good. Now, before we move more onto the livestock, Morgs, I'll get some angry phone calls if we don't follow up on the catters. How have they been going?
Yeah, Lithernow Cats, we've probably just fallen off the pace. A few kids been away on holidays. Form's probably had a form slump. Maybe got a bit coggy the boys.
Got a bit of
and girls.
Winter blues maybe as well.
Winter blues, but we went down to Wyong. We rolled Wyong in the middle of the year, but they got us on the home deck and gave us a fair old touch up actually. So I said to the under 11s guys, big pre-season. The season's over now for us.
No finals.
No finals for under 11s.
Oh right.
So yeah, no big pre-season, and we'll hit them full on next year. But there is rumours going around that they're changing the age group, so we might end up with under 12s now, not under 11s.
And under 14s then, or
under 12s, 14s, or 16s. But that's only rumour, Al. So
righto.
Don't quote me. Don't quote me.
You heard it here first.
Or on the Digger Deeper, groundbreaking stuff.
That's it. We'll put it on one of the shorts. We'll go viral. Now, my son's a small 13-year-old, so he'll be actually very pleased if he goes to under 14. So
you just got to feed him more, Al.
Yeah, no, a bit more red meat.
Yeah.
All right, where are we going today, Morgan? I did mention at the start, but we're going to put this one off. But you said no. We've got the big gun down anyway, so we've got to get him in the studio, and things are really starting to move. So.
He's on camera, so
I'm aware of that.
Yeah, I'll put him nice and close.
I'm bloody aware of that. G'day.
Now, look at Al. You came and saw us. I don't know at the sheep market at Bairnsdale, which was again a very very strong result. Moving quickly in the sheep job, and I think Joe's probably better equipped to answer that. Most of those questions are what he sees, but it's just sort of everything's trending in the right direction, and we've all been worrying about it and when it's going to happen. And we've all been talking about it. Well, it's certainly upon us now. Leen Gathert today, 2,500 cattle and plenty of cattle. It's hard to buy a feeder under $5, steer and a heifer, mid fours. So it's $2,000 bottom line for a feeder type 350 plus kilo animal. So
go back 4 weeks. How much has it moved in 4 weeks' time?
Well, close to $1.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and you go further back. That's for a feeder, and restocking cattle are crashing through $5 into $6 now for weaner turnout cattle, and so it's a really really exciting time. Cull cows have probably been the biggest lifter. We've seen them to mid fours now, $4.40 and things like that for a heavy kill cow. So that's taken those things plus $3,000. So
even money in the dairy cattle, I've heard.
Yeah, cull chopper cows. Yeah, cull chopper cow, $1,500, pretty easy. Those things were making $800, $600, $500 when it got pretty dark. So it's certainly a dollar lift a kilo on most types of cattle in the past couple of weeks. So it's moving very, very quickly, and who knows? It's untapped. It seems very early for it to happen, really, as we hit the spring. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, no, I agree. We're going to see a good bit of growth this month. Everyone's got the rain. But the projections of the supply overseas in the States and in South America all suggest that we're in a pretty good position going into the end of the year with our export product.
Yeah, what's our dollar doing? Is that
66 cents at the moment?
Yep, so still sitting good for export, obviously.
Yeah, you don't want to bust through 70 too much. That's the old rule of thumb. But again, it's just groundbreaking what's happening. So I think it's a shortage of protein everywhere, and everyone's scrambling for that. Processors have had pretty consistent results all the way through. They've been clearly had some pretty good enterprise the past few years. So
they're stocked up their war chest a little bit, you reckon?
You'd think. I don't know. I don't know where the break-even point is, though, and they certainly won't tell us.
Yeah.
So, a lot of cattle to come into the spring, and they'll certainly sell very well. East Gippsland, in my opinion, we've had a couple of good seasons. We've got a bit dry in various times, but we've been going okay. I think there's a lot of cattle to come in the spring too. So, and that's not necessarily the case across the state. How are you seeing it?
Yeah, no, I think the interesting thing for me in the last month is the feeder job and the store jobs probably hit the equilibrium with the kill job. So there's been good opportunities to buy these cattle and value add them, into killing more killable commodities at less cents per kilo live weight, of induction. And that sort of changed. It's sort of leveled out, hasn't it, Morgan? And it could just we've seen it before. It certainly can go on the other side of what the kill job's doing, live weight. Yeah.
So is that going to bring the fall pretty quick then? Is it if we go too high?
We worry about the fall. We still got to get to the top of the mountain.
It, Jesus.
Now you're trying to drag us back.
Yeah. No.
No, I think
all pessimist us farmers. So
what do they say? Always borrow money off a pessimist because they never expect it back.
Yeah.
But no, I think there's probably longevity in it. There's a few forward contracts and prices getting thrown around for November and things like that, and they're better than what they are now.
Right.
So that says looking positive.
Yeah.
Which I would never. It's a 1 in 10 year anomaly where it gets dearer as it goes through the spring, and I think that trend's going to happen this year. So I reckon I've only ever seen it once. So I've been in it 20 years, so this will be the second time. So it never really happens as you hit the back end of spring, seasonally driven as well. September, it's usually okay. By October, hits dry, it gets dry, or something goes wrong. A lot of cattle flush on then. I don't think those cattle are there in a massive amount. Your thoughts, Joe?
No, I agree. Yeah, I mean, everyone is probably more so in my area than here. Everyone's destocked for obvious reasons through the seasonal conditions, and the Western districts too. So we see growth. It's a no-brainer. They're just going to sit on cattle.
Yeah, and they're going to have to put weight on them. And if they're having a season, be selective on when they sell them. If they're having a season, they don't have to dump cattle either. The Big Brother down the road, South Gippsland and things like that, they're being dry now for the sort of 12 or 18 months.
So you're closely linked down there, Morgs. What's their season looking like right now? Take away the dry beforehand.
Yeah, it's been it was very, very dry, sort of May, June, heading into June. They've had relatively good rain, not significant.
Any runoff for the dams?
A little bit starting now. So I went around Mum and Dad's place yesterday. Yeah, Tuesday. And their country looked pretty well, like short and green, but it's mild, it's sunny. See, if they're getting big dumps of rain now, they get a lot of mud. And as we know, big issues with mud in South Gippsland. That's not happening. So it's been quite mild there, which is a perfect season for them. They might start picking up a bit of rain now through. That's as good a result as you can get.
Once it starts warming up and a bit of growth to go along with it.
Starts bouncing out of the ground. And, and there's a lot of cattle that have been sold there. There's not many big cattle down there either in terms of bullock and kill cattle. So those cattle won't come until December, January, you would think, if they have a season.
All right, Morg, now you're going to have to keep your mouth closed for a minute because you're my agent. I'm going to ask Joey for his prediction. Cow and calf package, springtime. What are they going to get to? When do I offload?
Yeah. Well, look, it's certainly seen some tough times in the last 6 months. We've seen that. They've looked very good buying, and there just wasn't the feed around through winter for anyone to really hop into them. And until the split values come up, like we've seen in the last month, it was pretty dire for the cow and calf job. But
just explain the split value.
Well, split value, when I refer to that, is what a cow's worth as a processing commodity and what a calf's worth as a store commodity to get weaned onto pallets or reared onto milk.
So you take like the value of a calf, value of a cow, and it's not always the same if you sell a cow and calf packages.
Well, bear in mind, obviously it's more appropriate with an older outfit because she's at her maturity and she's probably the heaviest she's been or close to it. You're looking at a 450 kilo heifer. Split value is probably not appropriate. But to answer your question, I think it's going to be 4.5, could get 5. We've seen that before.
You say $5,000.
We get rain and grass does funny things, Al. You know that.
What time of year?
I won't be cornered into putting any dates on it.
Morgs will. When is the time when the grass fever's really sunk in?
Yeah, October, November.
All right.
October, November, and then you get a spring calf, like a significantly bigger 200 kilo spring calf. So they're making $5. There's $1,000 there on the calf. Then you've got a cow that's worth $2,500. $3,000, there's your $3,500 to $4,000, as Joey said.
I heard 5 actually.
Yeah, well, hey, it's happening in the US, and look, you get a bit of momentum. Like we could be seeing weaners making today at Leongatha 320 kilo calves made $2,000 on 1 or 2 pens, but there wasn't a lot of those runs of black cattle there. So who knows where it goes? And we're not saying it's going to happen, and it's certainly trending that way. We've seen cows and calves make it before.
Yeah, of course we have.
Yeah,
we've got a short memory.
Yeah.
Don't have to go back that long, do you?
Yeah. Are you excited? You got a few cows that are calving.
I'm excited.
Yeah, you cannot wipe the smile off his face.
Sitting a bit forward.
Yeah, I know.
Crossed his legs.
No, I'm just doing the numbers in my head real quick, boys, and I might actually make some money this year, so I might have to pay the tax man.
Don't worry, you'll give a bit back at some stage, Al. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Now we'll talk about the sheep then. You said, Morg said you probably know the sheep game a bit more. When do you guys start turning off your suckers over there?
Traditionally on the river country, we might start in the end of August. Like that's the country probably closer to the Goulburn and north of Shepparton and Picola, end of August. But those early drop suckers, obviously they're specialist operations. They're probably on track. They might be just a little bit behind, but what we are going to have is a big gap between the early suckers off the irrigation to the dryland suckers.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be well and truly a month. So I think everyone's aware, we're going to see a run of suckers probably might be just the start of September, and then we're going to see it get real thin, I reckon, unless people are encouraged to sell them as stores prematurely. I think we could see a bit of a hole sort of late September into October.
So you're saying you'll see your good lambs come forward, and then a lot of people shear lambs and sit on them, do you think? Or do you think they'll get sold as a store? Depending on the season.
It all depends on the rain we get dealt. But I mean, like for instance, there's been store lambs bought out of, central New South.
$18 a kilo.
2 weeks ago, they were 35 kilos live weight, $200. So
unbelievable.
That's going to tempt a few people to probably, if they're in a position seasonally or financially, that's probably going to bring a few out, isn't it?
Yeah.
And a lot of sheep sold in WA and things like that. There's none of those sheep flowing across anymore. That's all stopped too, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's right. But, the interesting thing, I heard the other week that, our national flock at the minute is still higher than it was in 2019. So we're sort of getting around associating there's a lot of sheep are being sold and gone. But, last year was a 15-year high, I think, for the national flock. So we've come off that big boom of numbers.
National flock killed, processed?
No, just a national flock on the ground.
Yeah,
it was just shy of 80 mil
Is that
last year.
What, all the Dorpers and Aussie Whites in the backcountry, or what's going on?
Yeah, round them up. What I've heard is a big shift away from merinos. The replacement ability of those composites and first cross ewes now.
No, that's
The lift in conception rates and marking rates, and so the ability to rebuild so quickly is surprising lots of people. So
yeah, that's right. There's a big shift in the shedding sheep have got a massive part to play in our future in Australia in the sheep industry. There's no doubt about that. It's just finding that right strain with the temperament. But when we look at the last 18 months, it's a very interesting market. I take the mutton job for instance. Like you go back, 40 kilo carcass weight big composite ewe, for instance. 18 months ago we were selling them consistently, selling them for $20 to $30 live weight, dollars per head. So you find another market where a commodity's actually increased its value by 1,000% in that time. I'd like to know about it. But that's what we're seeing now.
Yeah.
Those killable old ewes are $250 to $300.
What about the rams? Cull rams, $5.
Yeah, they've taken a rise, old rams. Yeah.
Yeah. Old Morg's got his pants pulled well and truly down the other sale.
Oh, dear.
What do you start at $40, Mo? About 110, I reckon.
Yeah, you got to the listeners. I don't sell at the sheep market. We've got a very good auctioneer that does the job there, and as I said, I turned up, and Al was very excited to see me there. But there was a ram there.
I had to introduce him to a few buyers actually, didn't I? He was.
Yeah. Well, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think I asked $50 on a ram, and
everyone's hand went up.
Everyone nearly assaulted me. Even the booking clerk turned on me.
Yep. Yeah, that's not very encouraging. But no, but really, the number of things. Obviously, there was a few roadblocks with the export market last year. There's no doubt about that. But the numbers thing and the supply of sheep is the big factor. If I look at my business. Last year, I reckon I would say comfortably I've worked it out, it'd be 6 to 7% of my breeding business sold out dispersal, and that was generational farmers. That just through that tough time, that was enough to go, why am I doing this? I've prolonged my retirement. Now I'm going to pull the trigger on it. So, and I think if you look, it'll be probably pretty close to the decrease in the flock average from year to year. So, that puts us in a pretty good position going into this spring. People are going to be very keen to hold on to ewes a year older, so there's not going to be many more of them hitting the market cast for age. There's all these other factors that'll push that along.
Sheep getting harder, sheep getting harder to source in a sense that people won't be dumping as many either. Those sheep coming across from WA, there's less and less of them coming. There was a lot of people buying sheep out of there because they were so cheap and everything else, and that was always a thread. You could always buy a lot of sheep out of SA and WA. It's been dry in SA as well. A lot of those sheep have been sold there too. So I don't think there's many of those sheep strategically that we can buy. So people have to adapt now.
Yeah, it's going to get like last time we seen $500. It's everything's on the table to suggest we're going to see it more interesting than that because Morgs is right. WA doesn't have the volume there to pull us out, and obviously the thing that has changed since this last time we were in this position is the cost of fuel and labour to get them across from WA has changed significantly.
It's interesting when lambs. What's the record so far? About $440.
Changes every week.
That was the last auction sale anyway.
Oh, those blokes up in Forbes and Wagga, they've been it's like a ping pong ball bouncing around. But 440, 441.
Yeah, you just see it breaking it all the time. The one thing that I am going to query though, right? They all talk about what happens in the marketplace. These pen of lambs of 50 lambs that make $450. There is rumours and stories of a producer in Coro that's been producing $450 lambs with so much weight for months now. And they're sending lots of 200 and 300 and averaging it.
Hitting Wagga on a Thursday, hitting Coro on the Monday with the seconds, that's
but no, he's hooking them.
Yeah,
so
as well,
So,
well, I think that guy that made the 441, he actually had a truckload go to the abattoirs the week before, and
they came out of that too. Yeah. I think it's Mickens or someone from Coral. So,
Walla Walla. Yeah.
Okay.
But no, it's certainly good. Well, I'll throw this one to you, Al. You've got lambs. We talk about the big shift from cropping, right across the arable country of Victoria and New South, and a generational thing as much as anything too. Labour component plays into it. But right now, and probably looks like we're going to have it in spring, you've got lambs walking around. And we're not talking on the top of the wazza lambs. We're talking like middle run lambs, top of the domestic weight lambs, walking around. They're worth more than a tonne of wheat. And you look at all your costs involved with cereal or canola.
Fert.
Your fert, your rees through the roof, you're spraying 7 or 8 times, your planting equipment and your maintenance. So there's going to be some farmers, I think, scratching their head probably at the end of this year going, Dad was right. Might look at getting a few sheep again. Yeah.
Split it 50-50.
Well, if I want to make some money, I'll be a fencing contractor next couple of years.
Yeah.
There are going to be a few paddocks that are going to be re-fenced again because a lot of them are taken out or left run, and the idea of a few lambs running around. And I got a quote the other week for some fencing, $17,000 a kilometre down here, Morgs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you ever get you're sick of the old livestock in, then get into fencing because there's a bit of money to be made there, I reckon.
Yeah.
You'd swing off a steel post quite well.
I've got a very soft hands there.
Yeah. You've told me you worn out a few crowbars in your time down to toothpicks.
Yeah, no, where crowbars down to roofing nails, mate, back in my day. Yeah, when I was in my prime.
Oh, how things have changed, though.
I said in my prime, Al. Yeah.
Oh, that's it's encouraging if you have got some animals around you, which is good, but it's always going to be a long game, this farming caper, so it'll be interesting to see how the season plays out. Now, don't want to blow your head up anymore, Morgs, but you haven't been wrong too many times when you've made predictions out here.
Wow.
I keep trying to get you to pull you up, but you've always been pretty on the money. So
you're petty like that, Al. You just want to see me fail.
No, it's just everyone keeps calling in, says pull him up. He's wearing a pink shirt. You got to pull him up somehow. So
yeah, well, yeah.
Now this might get you though, Morgs.
Okay.
So I told you that I've got a bit of a surprise set of questions for you. I just did my MSA accreditation the other week.
Good. Yep.
And I thought, I wonder if my livestock agent, would know this because he should, because he's the one that books them into the right places. I'm going to run through the questions for you, all right?
Right.
You can phone a friend in Joey if you want.
Okay. Is it like so there's A, B, C, D? Is that right?
No, you can't always pick C like in school, Morgs.
All of the above.
Yeah, you always go D, all of the above.
Yeah, no, it's C, statistically.
C.
Yep.
All right.
MSA accreditation. These are actually their accreditation questions.
So we're doing the questionnaire live, are we?
Yeah, live. So if you muck up, it's all getting recorded.
What happens if I swear?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got to tick a box on when I produce it, so it's fine.
Right. Go.
What is glycogen? This is A or B question. It's only A or B, so it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
What is glycogen? A type of northern tropical pasture, or B, energy stored in the muscles that determines pH of meat?
Energy stored in the muscles.
Tick. Glycogen levels are built up through nutrition and careful handling. Adequate levels of glycogen at processing contribute to improved eating qualities.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Adequate levels, yes.
Yes, correct. Name 3 things that can cause, this question 3, name 3 things that can cause high pH in meat.
There's an A, B, C, D, but do you want actually high pH, so stress,
Yep.
poor nutrition,
Yep.
change of season or weather.
Oh, he's good. Can you
am I
read
close?
me sheet?
No, I can't.
Dehydration would be there.
Dehydration, yeah.
There's one you've missed, it was on there. It was poor handling skills as well, so which is part of that stress.
Yeah,
so.
You're not a bad handler of stock that well, so I didn't even. It's not even relevant.
Yeah,
Jack Russell's.
hanging off the heels. a little Joycey getting into him.
Yeah.
Question 4 is recommended that cattle are mixed with different mobs within 2 weeks of dispatch from the property. Is that true or false?
They've got to be kept separate. So once you get your cattle drafted 10, 14 days out, if you're going to kill them in an MSA program, you want them kept as that mob.
Why is that specifically?
Bullying.
Yep.
As
Like the social hierarchy.
social hierarchy, cattle determine and change their social hierarchy all the time. Heifers cycling and bullying and things like that. Steers can ride the hell out of heifers and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, very good. Question 5. What is what is the MSA specification for beef carcass ultimate pH? So is it above? So I'll give you. Is it pH above
56?
No. Hang on, I misread it for you. Don't look at the questions. MSA specification for beef carcass ultimate pH. Is it above 5.71 or below 5.71?
You want it below 5.71.
Oh, he's good.
You don't want high pH because that determines meat colour.
The dark cutters and stuff, doesn't it? Yeah,
yes.
Toughness and I learnt today.
Toughness. I've got a very high pH.
Yeah, you would. Yeah. It spoils really quickly too if you've got a high pH. Apparently, shelf life goes down.
Eating quality goes down. Colour of meat goes down.
Yeah. Question 6: do producers need to complete NVD as well as MSA vendors' decks?
Of course they do.
Yes. Yep. Question 7: how many weeks off shears before? This is a lamb question. You might struggle here.
Oh well.
How many weeks off shears before dispatching MSA lambs? Is it 2 weeks or it doesn't actually affect meat eating quality?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
No, Joey, you had to phone a friend.
No, I brought him with me.
Yeah.
Question 8. On the NVD for sheep and lambs to be consigned MSA eligible, what information needs to be included? It's a bit of a wank question, this one, but we'll go with it.
Go again.
What information needs to be included on the NVD for MSA eligibility?
D, all of the above.
Yeah, be their age and their breed, number,
shearing,
antibiotic status.
Yeah, you pretty much got them all.
Russian, Saudi eligible.
The total time off feed before slaughter for MSA sheep should be no greater than how many hours?
24 to 36 hours.
48 is the maximum.
Yeah. So, but that's
I've got a question for you, both of you guys, though.
Right.
What is the ideal time off feed?
Yeah, I believe for sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah, sheep. I think you should care for your stock well before you transport them. Then after that, they're, say they get to the plant at 6 o'clock at night, they usually start getting processed throughout that morning. So, as a rule, I think 24 hours is a good curfew. Sheep, on farm,
or total.
If you like your truckie, it is.
Yeah,
it depends who you talk to.
I don't think there's anything really wrong. If you like, well, I know we don't really get skin prices for lambs anymore either. That's another story. But I think care for your sheep 24 hours before you truck them.
You'll see those Western New South Wales producers. They'll truck them days before and actually let them spell at the abattoirs on water in a pen with a bit of hay before they actually get curfewed again.
Right.
Yeah.
Firm believer in the bigger the curfew, the better the cattle or sheep manoeuvre. And also, when they get there, let your cattle have time to settle. Let your stock have time to settle while they're there. It's a good thing.
We've put that to bed over the years with a few different things, Morgs, haven't we? Like the classic, the getting your cattle in at 7 o'clock and sending them off to a store sale. They're going to get weighed in the middle of the night. They're turning up. They're stressed. They're they're urinating. They're sweating. They're fornicating. So like all that's going on. So then they get weighed at nearly their emptiest, and then they drink water and. You could weigh them the next morning at 9 o'clock and they could be very well heavier.
Yeah, right. Good information. Thanks for that. And by the way, you passed with flying colours, so you can still have your MSA accreditation. Done well. Thanks for coming in, Joey.
No, thanks for having me. It's been good.
Enjoy your break, and we'll catch up at some stage. I'll make a phone call when I sell my cattle for 5,000.
Yeah.
You got the pressure. Is that like when we got two tied together?
What?
Two cows are making
8-legged cows.
You never know. No, I think he's right. I think it's not far around the corner. Also, while we're winding up, big shout out to Jolie Stewart. He's a big listener of our podcast, Al.
Jolie Stewart.
Joel Stewart, Bluey's young buck, one of the 400 Stewarts that live out there at Hillside.
Yeah.
Jolie actually was saying that he really enjoys the podcast and thoroughly enjoys it. So I said we're going to give him a gag hat. Have we got any more gag hats?
Oh, I can find one for sure for Joel. As long as this one actually gets to him. Last time I sent you off
Barry
for the hat.
Barry got his hat. Barry got his hat.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yeah.
So,
well, maybe we should get Joel in with you next time. How old Joel?
Jolie works at Bulmers, and he'd be, I don't know, how old Jolie be? 22?
Perfect.
21?
We'll get him in one day.
He's a beauty. He's a third or fourth generation farmer from local, so it's good to have him listening. Yeah.
Is he the Stockton?
Yeah, one of Al's grandsons. Yeah, Jason's Bluey's young bloke.
Yeah, which we should mention actually. That ram sale is coming up. What is it? September time?
Early September. Maddie Gallagher will have her on the show, plugging that in the rams. So all good.
Yep, so the Gippsland ram breeders, merino ram breeders is coming up too, so look out for that.
You know what they say, no rams, no lambs.
Yeah, that's a Kyle thing, isn't it?
Was once.
All right, thanks, boys.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks.
A big thank you for tuning in today. And remember, if you have a question about today's episode or a topic you'd like us to cover, reach out to one of our many platforms and join the conversation. We're here because of your passion and commitment to agriculture. Together, we can build a stronger farming future.
This podcast is made possible by the Future Drought Fund Regional Drought Resilience Planning Program, co-funded by the Victorian and Australian governments.